Hey guys, Marlo back again with another unboxing and review. Again, another set of figures by McFarlane Toys based off of the hit animated series on Amazon Prime, The Legend of VOX MACHINA. I wasn't too familiar with this series myself until a buddy of mine gave me this Percy figure for free. I just figured, what the heck, let me just take this figure. It's a cool McFarlane Toys figure anyways, so I was curious about it, looked up the show on Amazon Prime, started watching it, and I fell in love with the series. It's quite good, so I picked up Vexelia there. So these figures are loose already, as you can see, and eventually I had to pick up the other figures here of Vax, or Vaxildan, and Keyleth. And if you're not familiar with Vox Machina, it's based on the first campaign of the Dungeons and Dragons web series by Critical Role. And again, I just kind of learned about all this stuff later on as as I was watching the series. And there's 7 main characters in the show, and McFarlane so far has only made these 4. We're missing 2 of the gnomes. They're smaller characters, Scalen and Pike, and then there's the big guy who looks like what's his face from God of War, Grog. So hopefully they'll make those characters eventually, but for now, let's go ahead and take a look at what we have here. Again, we have Vax, or Vaxildan. He is the brother to Vex, who we have here. These are basically 2 elves on the show. And then we have Keyleth, and she is a druid. They all have pointy ears, so it's not too hard to mistake them all as elves, basically. But we have gnomes, we have elves, we have druids, we have Percy, who is basically the only human, I guess. And then we have Grog, who's a big dude. He could be probably human too, but he's more like a, I don't know, he's like a big barbarian guy, so I'm not quite sure what race he would actually fall under, but I guess he's closer to human, but just really tough. So here we have the 2 new figures in package. The other 2 that I opened came with similar packaging, and if you want to, you could pause the video to read the little bio there for Vax, and the same goes for Keyleth. Just again pause the video, and you can see there are the main 7 characters, the team shot there: Percy, Pike, Grog, Scanlan, Keyleth, Vax, and Vex. And as you can see there with Vex, she pretty much holds the bow in her left arm and pulls the string with her right. And I saw that throughout the show for the most part, so it's kind of, disappointing that they made the figure holding the bow with the right hand and having, the left hand more for the drawstring pulling. And I saw only maybe 1 or 2 scenes where she did use the right hand with the bow. It was in the first episode where they were pretty much introducing the characters. It's really quick where she does use the right hand for the bow, but otherwise it's in the left hand throughout the series. So anyways, just something I noticed. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and open up these figures, take a closer look at them all together. Alright, so we have Vax and Keyleth out of their packaging, and you can see them here with their accessories. We'll start off with Vax. He has 3 daggers, as well as the display stand. Keyleth comes with her staff and a display stand. And the older figures that I had loose already, Vex, she comes with the quiver, a bunch of bows, a bunch of arrows, and the bow, as well as the display stand. And last but not least, Percy, the first figure I got that started it off for me. He comes with his little musket type gun and the display stand there. So this is the set so far by McFarlane Toys. And here we have them with their accessories, and we'll take a closer look starting with Vex'ahlia. Let's see. Basically with her, again, she is holding the bow in the wrong hand, I believe. It should be the left hand, not the right, but oh well, what can we do? The quiver basically plugs into the back. You can see a weird hole there in the back, but you're not really going to see that if you keep the quiver plugged in. The arrows basically just can shove into the back there, and yeah, you can see she has a really nice looking face there. Pretty elf with the feather in her hair, some nice sculpting all around. You can see her arms do go out, double joints at the elbow. You have a swivel at the wrist, articulation at the waist. You can see her, she has a little bit of a bend and rotation. Legs do go out. You can see the joints underneath. Of course, they can go forward. Double joints at the knees, at the ankles, as well as a bend at the toe. Rotation and swivel. So again, very posable. Joints very well concealed, at least in my opinion. And that is Vex'ahlia. Really nice figure. Next we have her brother, Vax, and he is the dagger wielder. He comes with 3. There are little sheaths in the back where you can house at least 2 of the daggers. I have one there right now, as you can see in the back. Just kind of plugs in, and then he's holding the 2 others in hand. Very decent likeness again. He has darker skin in comparison to his sister. A little bit more grayish brown, I guess you could say. And he's a darker character overall. Rubberized cape. And again, pretty much the same points of articulation. You can see double joints at the elbows, knees. Same type of rotation and swivel at the ankles and toes. So I'm not going to spend too much time going over him. Moving on next to Keyleth. She is the druid who basically is a nature magic wielder. She has her staff, as you can see there, and she's looking quite cute. Freckles there on her face. Again, a really nice sculpt and paint job. Back of the figure. Hopefully she won't drop her staff there. And again, similar points of articulation to the other figures, like Vex earlier. Rotation there, as well as swivel at the ankles, toe bend, double joints at the knees and elbows, as you can see. The bend and rotation at the waist are a bit more hindered because of the suit, or that rubberized body outfit. So while it does bend, it doesn't quite hold. So that's a little bit unfortunate. And of course the head is on a ball joint. So let's move on to the last, Percy. He is human. Don't like how his head sculpt came out, really. The glasses look kind of funny. They look more like goggles, how they're kind of wrapped around the face. I don't know if they pulled it too tight, so I'm going to see if I can pull the glasses out. I think they're just kind of glued on, and they wrapped it around his head a little too tight. And the way he holds his gun is kind of weird, too. It's kind of hard to get him in a nice shooting pose. You have to kind of bend the wrist, because otherwise, yeah, he's always like pointing up or something like that. So if he was going to shoot straight, it's kind of like that. When his arms are held out, he's always like going to be pointing the gun upward. So I kind of don't like that. But otherwise, he does have a holster where you can house the gun. His legs are a little bit too skinny, I think. But again, double joints at the knees, rotation at the ankles, double joints at the elbows. The arms do go out like all of them. He has hip and waist articulation, as you can see. A little bit of a bend. His trench coat is also sort of rubberized. So, you know, he was the first figure I got in the group. And, I don't know, in my opinion, he's kind of the weakest. But hopefully they will make Grog, Pike, and Scanlan to round out the group. Definitely would like to see that soon. And I'm looking forward to Season 3. So far, there's only 2 on Amazon Prime. So hopefully there will be a Season 3. Definitely looking forward to that, as the story was not complete. If you are caught up with the animated series, they defeated... well, I don't know, I don't want to spoil too much, but there were definitely some dragons involved, which looked amazing on the show. And yeah, basically they need to finish fighting off the dragons without spoiling too much, hopefully. And as far as the characters, you know, Vax and Vex are brother and sister, so they have a very close relationship. You know, the 2 elves there in the middle. And then while they have that relationship, Keyleth and Vax here have a little bit of a love thing going on, as well as Percy. He seems to be fond of Vex. So there's definitely some, you know, love triangle action going on in the show itself. So it makes it quite interesting. And they all have really nice, interesting backstories as well. So hopefully you guys can check it out. I highly recommend the show. Even if you're not a, excuse me, big Dungeons and Dragons fan. I'm not really a huge into Dungeons and Dragons, but I do appreciate the creativity and the world building involved and things like that. So anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this unboxing and review. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up. Be sure to share the video, like the video, and if you haven't already, please do subscribe. Be sure to ring that notification bell to let you guys know of any future video uploads that I may put out. Other than that, that's it, guys. Take care, keep safe, keep on collecting, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.